just like Gundam. Oh, I thought, we want world peace and the end to all war and to all slavery and to medical goodness. It's not even close. It's not even close to what the problem is. They're getting there. But obviously, right, I stated my opinion, like, that's not it to go to Vinland. That's not it.
Yeah, it's not a physical place.
It's not
Yeah.
It's not what you need to solve.
But it hasn't exactly been articulated that way yet.
Exactly.
So they don't really have
the tools for it.
Right, the mental, what is it? The structure of ideas in order to understand that what they're looking after is a spiritual
transformation
place.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
The best they can do is go for an actual place.
Right. Which, hey, it's not bad. Yeah.
No, that's natural. There's
I think
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, Thorfinn has already analyzed his Norse culture that he's grown up in, and that's cool. That's, like you're saying, he's thinking a lot.
He's a historian.
Mm-hmm. He understands the cultural forces that are at play.
He's a psychologist.
How you can't just simply reprogram the Norsemen to think differently.
He's a philosopher.
Because he's seen it firsthand. Yeah.
Yeah, he's all of the above. And then he wants to bring outcasts to America.
To the promised land.
That's what the English did,
mm-hmm.
right? So what was it, 700 years later?
Yeah, you're right, actually.
Yeah, they took all the outcasts.
It was the outcasts.
And they went to Vinland. Yeah. And they made America for the exact same reason.
Because they didn't like what was going on, right? Europe.
Yeah. Get away from the monarchy, get away from the tyranny, and establish free people.
And that's what we keep on doing as Americans, too. Is like, there's problems, and we always have the option to just leave.
Problems in the world,
yeah. No, I gotta think about that one a little bit more.
What are you trying to say?
Yeah, because when we have like choices in American culture, it's like, you don't like customer service at one place, go to another one with better, right? There's always something better out there in terms of like competition, right? So that's like a feature of what makes life kind of great, because we have those options. You can just exercise and do something else. But I'm sure there's a point where that runs out. So
it is an echo of what's being expressed here, because I mean, just think about it. It's been 1,000 years. This is historical fiction. It's true. Viking culture. How did we end up in our modern day? Right? From these guys. This is 1,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because what they are talking about is changing the heart, and somehow it happened. It took 1,000 years. Compared to this time, nowadays, yeah, the heart might be a little bit different. I'm not going to say that it is and that it worked. That's just naive and dumb. The prevalence of killing, it's still present, but it's not what rules the culture. It's not what characterizes our culture now. And that's because it's a Christian culture. All of the ideas that Thorfinn and Einar were talking about in this episode were spread successfully. Mm-hmm. So it's created a sort of paradise. It's just a miracle that it even came about at all. Because think about it from their perspective, right? Could they even imagine us today, the way we're living, how peaceful things are for us?
There is something to that too, not having to be scared of your village getting attacked by the Vikings.
Yeah.
That kind of assumption changes everything, I think, in the way that you live.
Yeah.
That's why Einar is so bent on like trying to find a solution, because they have that option right now, that these two characters, to go live life the way that they want to, but they know they can't just go back to living somewhere peaceful.
Well, Thorfinn doesn't realize that yet.
True.
Yeah, he really thinks that there's a physical place that he can go and bring people, like-minded people with him. And, that could work for a time, but it's just not. It's always temporary, right? Because they have the right idea. It's just not properly framed yet. God, and that's just one half of the episode.
Yeah, the other half is Arne and Gardar, of course. Arne kind of got that closure that she needed.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Just to acknowledge that everything that had happened in the past between the two of them, and losing everything.
Because she was getting pretty bitter
against
Gardar for making the decision that he did, and it not working out.
And all the years being a slave, losing her kid.
She was kind of pinning it on him.
Yeah.
And he felt bad because he knew he made
mistake.
Because it didn't work out. But like Spherical said, right? You could have done the other thing and it might not have worked out too. So
It's kind of a wash.
Yeah,
right?
it's not exactly his fault, but he does feel bad, and as he should. So he's taking responsibility for that. Apologizes, and then in apologizing, she realizes that he's not the one to blame.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why she started crying, was because she was able to let go of
Bitterness.
yeah,
Right.
the hatred that was building up for Garter.
And she said, "I'm sorry too."
Yeah,
You know?
because of that.
Yeah, yeah, that's what she was
Yeah,
apologizing
for holding on to those
Mhm.
that bitterness and resentment towards him. So as far as I'm concerned, they can die now.
I know, huh?
Yeah,
it's kind of
their story arcs are wrapped.
It's kind of wrapped up. Yeah, it's really sad, but that's true.
I don't think they will actually.
You think he'll just get away, and then we probably won't see him again?
No, Guard is going to die.
Or,
Guard is going to die, either through administrative means on the farm or of his wounds. Arneed, Kettle's a simp.
Kel would try to keep her alive.
Yeah,
I
we'll
don't
see
know-
what Potter has to say.
We'll see what Snake has to say.
Oh well, Snake is obvious, right? He
Right,
wants
yeah.
revenge. It's that simple.
What will Snake do, regardless of what the other people have to say?
But Snake has been reading the Bible.
Yeah, but he's only reading that for Spelker.
Well,
He kind of dismissed it last time he read it.
it's just a opportunity
That's true.
in the writing that I'm seeing. It's like
Oh, I see.
he's been reading it, and so it's there, and it's not really his choice at this point,
I see what you mean.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's
could,
been planted.
It could. Yeah, it could come out in the critical moment.
Because that's the thing, right? He said that, oh, this is silly, right?
Yeah.
Of foolishness, but subconscious doesn't work that way. So we'll see if that pops up later. I doubt it will.
Yeah, I have my bets placed.
Yeah, I doubt it
I
will.
don't think
I'm
it's
just
gonna
saying
happen,
it's a possibility. Yeah, that's going to put Kettle in a really tight spot.
I have to make another comment on that too, because it's kind of cool that he is the one reading the word for a person who it might not even have an impact. Spellcar's already almost dying, so he doesn't even need to hear it. It's the fact that he's reading out loud that someone else could be overhearing
Listening
it,
in,
and that's where it makes the most impact.
one of the slaves.
Right, one of the slaves. It's just like, really gotta think about that. Like, when you say things in life, you don't know what impact it's gonna have.
Yeah, you don't know who's listening.
Consciously, you don't know who's listening, you know who's taking it in, right? So it's just, I think it was a cool story moment for the writing to do that. That's the whispers and the eavesdropping where all the interesting things happen.
Right, because that's changed Thorfinn. And now Thorfinn is going to change Einar. And now together they might be able to change the world.
Yeah.
Just 3 steps,
Yeah,
right? That's it.
Yeah. Yourself and then your neighbor, and then what else is possible at that point? Everything.
Well, now we have to reach Canute, right? There's no way this show goes on without more interaction between Thorfinn and Canute.
Absolutely.
That's in the stars. There's no, we're going to get there somehow. I have no idea.
And it's gonna be the most interesting thing ever, though.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But like when Canute finds Thorfinn on this farm, it's going to be surprise Pikachu face.
Exactly.
And Kettle and his sons aren't even back yet, dude. They're still on the return voyage. Kettle's going to get back, and he's already has a lot on his mind, and now he has to deal with this. So, that's interesting. So that's going to put this on hold. Snake is going to have to put it aside for a bit. They're going to have to use Garter, actually.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, there's an opportunity to barter.
That would be interesting. An interesting trade.
Because they're going to need as many men as they can get.
So many layers.
Oh, Garter just killed a whole bunch of guys, though.
Yeah, that.
Fuck.
Yeah, dude.
They're screwed.
Yeah, they're screwed.
They just need to surrender. There's nothing they can do. Well, there are other farms. Kettle's pretty diplomatic. He'll probably rally support from other farmers. I don't know if he has enough time to do. No, he does have a few weeks.
A week or what? Yeah, a few weeks.
So,
Bro.
and Garter just rode horseback from another farm here real quick. So, everything's going to burn.
Yeah, dude.
All of that wheat.
The farms.
Thorfinn wants to grow things now and build things, and
Other people want to burn them.
it's going to get in his way. Thorfinn's going to be an old man by the time he finally gets to do what he wants.
Yeah.
He's going to be like 50 years old. He might not even ever get to do it.
No, better than dying ignorant.
Yeah. And that makes me think of Swerko. Because he realizes, and he's dying now. And he spent all his life working.
Just working.
Work.
Yeah,
I remember that.
His solutions work.
I love that it's that.
So he's not dying with many regrets.
No.
He's done his farming and creating, and yeah, that's great.
And
Good
it's
for him.
his fault that Arneed let Garter go.
Yeah. That's what he's probably there in the episode thinking about. As
Yeah.
he's on the bed, he's like, "Oh, Snake, my bad."
Yeah.